So, yeah, when St. Patrick went to Ireland, he was said to have driven all the snakes from the island. This is the point in history, actually, that marks the end of Druidry. It was driven underground until the Renaissance era. In Arthurian lore, one of Arthur's knights is recorded as being bitten by a snake right before Arthur dies. So, snakes, serpents, sometimes symbols of death, transformation, change. The crane, as we have kind of discussed in the prior grade, crane knowledge, the ovate grade, alphabets, divination, the agam, forms of nature divination. The crane is a patient being. When observed in water, it waits very patiently and demonstrates stability in waiting for the right time to act. The crane, as a result of its agam associations, is also attributed to currents of like literature and just general knowledge and thinking in and of itself, intellectualness. They're also said to possess secret underworld knowledge, and do occasionally appear in lore and Celtic mythology as the role of a messenger. Going back to the Vita Merlyni, the life of Merlyn, he instructs druids to watch the flight patterns of cranes and sacred birds and look for the symbols and the abstract letters that form within them. The druids are also said in lore to have observed and replicated a certain circular dance that they had observed the cranes perform, called the crane dance. The owl is another of the oldest animals in the Celtic tradition. He's said to be a bearer, a carrier of great wisdom. The bird also represents detachment as a means of attaining wisdom. The owl lives separately from, well, not only most of the animals in the forest, but other birds as well. Much like the stag, the owl is an independent animal. And independence, standing for and as self, is a very highly prized trait by the druids. So, dogs. Okay, I'm trying to think other animals here. Traditionally, been kind of a totem and familiar to bards and wandering minstrels and ambassadors of ancient Celtia. They were sacred to the hunting deities, the infamous wild hunt, where the master of the hunt, some spiritual entity, is said to run rampant through the forest with his spirit hounds. Dogs have always been considered like faithful and loyal traveling companions, living companions, herding, shepherding companions. These creatures have been known to protect the spirit of their master, sometimes even after death. Many mythologies across the world associate dogs with death. So, the eagle is definitely associated with the element of air, east, currents of strength and courage. And according to shamanic lore, they're the birds that kind of soar to the highest highs, the highest altitudes, and therefore have that connection with the sky gods again. And again, so in that we see them appearing as messenger spirits from the sky gods. And they're also in the oldest animal group. So, on the voyage of Mardukite, it's kind of an adventurous druid-like figure in ancient Celtic history. He's said to have traveled by boat across the Atlantic Ocean. During this voyage, he witnesses this old and withered eagle rejuvenating itself at a secret pool. And in the lore of the icon, Lou, we learn that once he was wounded, he turned himself into an eagle and waited for healing in that form. Gwydion, another Celtic figure, comes along, recognizes the eagle as Lou, and changes him back into the true form with a magic wand. Some other animals that appear within the Celtic tradition.